Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are technically at war, but we're not participating in this war in any meaningful way, and we're acting as if we're at peace at this moment. So that's all great. We do want to get more of these colonizations going on, but we need biomass to do that. We should be able to do that very soon, though, only a couple of months. So that sounds absolutely great, and we're working on getting some upgrades to our buildings as well. But for now, this seems okay. We need planetary root complexes, and I still haven't figured out how to get planetary root complexes. My theory is that we're missing a tech, but I don't know that for an absolute fact. I guess we'll find out eventually. So I'm not in a huge rush on that one. For now, it's absolutely okay. Now, this science ship isn't doing anything, and we're already queuing up Clendath. I thought that was the case. So what else do we want to do? I mean, we can go after some astral rifts. I don't want to open the L gate yet because these guys are still upgrading over here. And we've got probably some work to do before we do that. I don't want to do that while we're at war because I don't want to risk that there's an L gate somewhere in this area that these guys will pop through and then attack us over here. So I don't want to open that up as a possible opportunity for the Fragmented Union to attack us. So we'll wait until after the war is over for that. And in that case, we may as well come up over here and explore this Astral Rift. But look at this naval capacity. That needs work. So I want to come to, this bastion is fine. We've got this bastion here. We should definitely put in a couple of gun batteries. And then I want to put in a communications jammer as well. Now, we've got this bastion. We can upgrade that. We're probably not going to need it. We've got this bastion. That can get upgraded. And then we've got all of these anchorages. And Menok Station, which is classified as a starbase for some reason, despite clearly being an anchorage. It's actually because it has this crew gestation chambers. We should switch to a naval logistics office. So we'll get that going, and we're going to need some food. I'm going to buy in 5,000 because we want to get all of these upgrading, and that's going to be pretty expensive. We're going to need more food than just the 5,000, but I definitely want to get all of these making their way right on up. So we're going to need another, 2,000 food from here. Okay. That's fine. I'll sell off some rare crystals, and then we'll buy in a couple thousand food, and that should be sufficient. So we'll get these going for now. We're still lacking a little bit of alloys and food.
Widened.
Okay. Oh, our Federation level has been unlocked. Wild. Okay, that's absolutely fine for now. Yeah, whatever. We don't actually care about that. I just didn't realize that we were actually gaining Federation XP. But there's farming subsidies done, and that's a big, big deal. What else are we interested in here? Reload jammers. That's interesting. There's also tile blocker clearances here and ecological adaptation. I'm gonna go for some tile blocker clearances, I think. We're going to grab this for right now. Now, I do want to get this anchorage upgraded. We need 238 additional food for that. Done. So that seems absolutely fine for now. We'll get all of that going. And of course, with our farming subsidies completed, we can now specialize these districts. And we absolutely want to do that. That's going to be a huge increase to our food flow. So that's very good. Is it just me, or is this music louder than normal? I'll just turn it down a touch. Maybe it's this particular track. I don't know. If it's too quiet, I'll turn it back up later. But for now, this is fine. I don't think that we want exotic gas capture here. I think we want to focus on the food. So we're going to get bloom looms going in, and I just want to go through all of these that have any of these districts, and we want to get this specialization built. So that'll be fine. Oh, this is going to be a really good one for a bloom loom. This is going to be a huge amount of additional food that we're getting. Not so much from there, but it's going to be a ridiculous amount of food. This is going to be very significant. And what else do we have down this way? Well, we've got this that only has one orchard forest on it, but I guess we'll put that in. This is a pollinating world here, and we can put that in as well. What is this costing us to build? Minerals only? Oh my, that's very spicy. I'm very happy that it's minerals only. That said, we need more minerals. So we're going to have to wait a month here before we continue, and
Growth
that's
continues.
okay. So that'll all be done quite soon here. I'm just going to turn this back up, actually. There we go. About there. It should be the same as it was. So we can just continue to wait for minerals. So
Growth
I see
continues.
2 additional locations to build these bloom looms in. And that's absolutely fine.
Vessels
We just need to wait for like 2 months to get it all done. Maybe there'll be an additional month tick, but we'll see. So we'll get this bloom loom in here, and then we need to get this in here. Yeah, we could just buy the minerals, so it's fine. There we go. We'll just get that completed. Sounds great. Now, this construction ship is idle, and where do we want it to go? Well, I want to start building our hyper relay network. So, I want to come over to Plant Heart and build our hyper relay there. That's going to cost food, so that's absolutely noted.
The wild grows
And
wiser.
I'm just checking around to see if there's anything unclaimed in these areas. We don't have 0 distillation, so that's not a thing. So why don't you head over to Holdabana and you can build a hyper relay there. And let's get some additional food purchased, although we're going to be done with our food requirements shortly. So I want to head into Plant Heart and build this hyper relay, but we're lacking food at this moment. Okay, mining station output is fine. This gives us crystal beds, exotic gas filters. Durasteel carapaces would be pretty decent. Yeah, let's get started on that. So that'll be fine. And eventually we'll get all of these constructions finished up. So we're 3.8k. I want to get an additional colonization going, so we'll get that terraforming right on over. And down over here, we'd like to get that colonized as well. There's a number of additional worlds that we want to colonize. So we'll get those wrapped up pretty quickly, actually. We're making a lot of biomass. So that looks fine. Our bloom looms overall are about 60% done now, and we are going to see just a tremendous explosion in our food production just from that. And to be clear, we're going to have additional buildings that we can build there as well. So this is going to be a lot of additional food production. Perhaps too much food production at this point. We will see. So we've got this construction ship heading over to Plant Heart, and I want to immediately build our hyper relay there.
The wild expands.
So that looks good. And our bloom looms will be done very soon, 10%. Then, of course, we need to build our specialization buildings. And we'll see what that ends up looking like. Sure, attempt to escape. We're going for the harder options for all of our astral rifts, just to see what happens. Okay, so over here, we want to go for probably nutritious dells. Yeah, we want to go for nutritious dells. I don't care about storage capacity, really. I want more wow, look at that food production. It went up so much already. We haven't even built the specialization buildings yet. That's going to be insane. Okay, so any of these places that have any amount of orchard forests, we're going to put in, or rather that have the specialization constructed, we're going to put in nutritious dells. Now, these are costing us biomass and minerals. That's not too bad, biomass and minerals. I would prefer not to be spending the biomass, of course, but we'll give this a moment. These are 400 minerals, so we can build roughly 2 per month. And that's understood. We need to build 3 per planet, and that's going to be quite a bit. I'm going to sell some energy credits here, and we're going to buy in some minerals just to be able to work our way through this a little faster. We are, of course, eventually going to run out of biomass, but this is fine.
Growth continues.
Wait, we didn't actually specialize this. That needs a bloom loom. We'll come back to that, because we will need to get Boogra having its buildings, so that's absolutely fine. So at this point, we need to just continue to come down over here. More nutritious dells. Sounds good. Okay, we do have this archaeological site pending. That's all well and good, but I want to continue to make our way through here. This could definitely become a food production world, but we don't really need one, I think. We're making a lot of food at this juncture, and that's absolutely great. So this is a pollinating world over here. We'll definitely get some nutritious dells in there. There we go. And what else do we have? More nutritious dells. Very nutritious here. And I canceled that one accidentally. Okay. So this is a crucible world here, but we can definitely put in our nutritious dells. And one thing I'm thinking here is there anything that stops us from building one of each just to get these 3 building slots? Not that I know of. So there's that. Okay, so that's all good for now. We want to go back to Bugra, because once this Bloom Loom finishes, we want to get the buildings done here. And this also means that we want to build specializations in these areas, right? We want to have one of each, build the specialization, build the buildings, and then we can think about where we want to actually put this. That said, we just finished up upgrading all of these star bases, and that's, of course, very significant. So, Weaver biofield generators, huh? Okay, that's a buff? Sure. For now, I'm going to grab tile blockers, and that will be fine. Clearing tile blockers is a good thing, especially in locations like this, where we can just clear these off. So that seems great. Now, we've got some maintenance type work to do here. This bastion needs to have a pair of gun batteries and a communications jammer. Then we've got this bastion down over here, same thing, gun batteries and a communication jammer. Then we've got all of these anchorages, and we're going to want to change or not change these. We're going to want to build 2 anchorages here, and then what else do we want to build here? Do we care? We could build a listening post, I suppose. Not that it really matters. Sure. But we need to go through all of these and get all of that built. So that's going to pretty dramatically assist our naval capacity. This is going to be plus, I think, 8? No, plus 12 in total for each of these. So that's going to be quite a number in the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 12 times 9. That should put us positive in our naval capacity. So that'll be very good for our resources as well. That's absolutely fantastic. We'll get these anchorages in here, and the listening post, and anchorages, and a listening post, and finally, of course, anchorages, and a listening post. We can't build the listening post. We're short on alloys. That's okay. We'll get there in a moment. Just waiting for the month tick. Now, our alloy generation is not actually very high. And that's definitely something to think about here. Now, food is a bigger concern for us. We don't spend as many alloys as a standard civilization. But we should still probably boost our alloy production somewhat. Probably. No, not a gun battery. Hang on. Anchorage and anchorage. There we go. And then this needs to get upgraded. That we need some alloys for. Okay. So we have a tradition available. We're going to grab unyielding. That is absolutely fine. And then we have our council agenda ready. And we're going to go for probably terraforming speed. That seems pretty good. We're terraforming right now. So we'll definitely take that. What is this event? What do you got? They want a science ship for 10% pop growth speed? No, we have our own pop growth speed. Thank you very much. So that seems fine for now. This starbase is ready to be upgraded, and so we shall. So that all seems relatively fine for now. This construction ship is idle and should actually be building here. I assumed that it was, but it wasn't.
Horizons widened.
Okay, so we just finished up planetary FTL inhibitors at long last. Bioplasma cannons, huh? Interesting. That's medium range up here at large. It's got a dead zone on it. Interesting. Only on the large size. Huh. We should probably consider taking wormhole travel so that we can go through this wormhole if we choose to in the future. So let's do that for now. Why are you showing up as only having 129? Where are your ships at? Well, that's a good question. Where indeed? The issue is that it's over its cap. Okay, so we need to get rid of these for right now, and we need to see what we're supposed to have. So our Weavers are supposed to be at 21. Our Harbingers are supposed to be at 10. We've got 10 Harbingers. We need Weavers here. But we can only get to 19. So we've got too many Maulers made here. We should be at 46 Maulers. So we need to come into here. And we need to transfer ships. We need to transfer some Maulers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And they need to be disbanded. Then we need to come in here, and we need to have this be down at 46. And then we need to add juvenile Weavers, like that. That's not quite right either, is it? 22. 22. It is right. Okay, so that looks perfect. We're going to get those made. We just needed to change those from Maulers to Weavers, and there was some awkwardness in here. So that's fine, and I'm guessing that, yeah, we just didn't have the alloys. I'm going to buy 2,500 alloys. That should keep us afloat for a while, and we'll just get that going. There we go. Fleets are at full strength, in theory, and we now need to be working on Baldurk. So we're going to head down over this direction. That seems wonderful. And over here, we're going to head to... I think we're going to head up towards Dokkan first. So we'll build our hyper relay up here. And then we can head out this direction. It doesn't really matter whether we go this direction or this direction to get to Jurup. It's exactly the same either way. But that's fine. So we're going to have this science ship out here. Actually, it does matter. We'd have to go Curus, then Jurup. Here we'd go... Well, it'd be a Blopus, then Jurup. We'll go to Curus. So we'll get that queued up. That seems fine. Excellent. So, at this juncture, what we need to do, of course, is we've got this world out over here. This is newly terraformed. So we're going to need to put in our Cradles of Rebirth here. Because we want to get our pop growth going nice and quick. So we'll get that underway. This world just terraformed as well. So let's get some Cradles of Rebirth going in here as well. And we'll need to get our starting districts done on these. So that's understood. The Cradles of Rebirth are, I think, the higher priority at this moment. So that seems fine. What do the Numistic Order want? No. Okay, so we want to definitely get more biomass going here. We'll need to just wait another month tick before we get one, but that'll be fine for now. So we'll come back to that in a moment. Okay. Nanite Interdictor or alloys? We're going to take the Nanite Interdictor, actually. That'll be fine. So we've got this. I should have taken the alloys. Yeah, I should have taken the alloys, because I'm just going to disband this. Well, rip. Oh, well. I could just, like, backtrack with the console and add the 1,500 alloys, but no, we're not going to do that. We're going to commit to this result. We didn't really need the alloys anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So on this world here, I want to make sure that we have at least one of each of these districts so that we can build the specializations. So we'll get that all queued up. And then over here, we want to prioritize building Cradles of Rebirth first. And then we'll build one of each type of district. And we need to go through all of our worlds and get that done. Building at least one of each type of district for the specializations. And then we can set these specializations later on. There's a hostile fleet present. What is this? Void worms. I don't care. This is irrelevant. Okay. I was worried for a moment there that we were getting attacked by the Fallen Empire, but no, they're still happily ignoring us, and we are very okay with that.
The canopy is under attack.
Very, very, very okay with that. So we're done out over here. We also have this society research. I'm going to create one additional construction ship. And I want this science ship to go somewhere and do something. I know that's very specific, but what do we want it to do? I guess it can head down here or here and explore these astral rifts. So that'll be fine for now. Now, I want to get this Cradle of Rebirth in, which we can do now. Beautiful. So I'm not specializing this world just yet. I do want to put in a photosynthesis world and an orchard forest because we want to get these specializations put in, right? So that's absolutely fine, and we'll get this all done and growing very soon. So that's all looking good. This construction ship is idle, and this is our new construction ship that we just made. So I'm going to go build our research station up in Clendath, and then this is going to get assigned to building a hyper relay network, probably going down this direction is what that's going to do. So that'll be fine. There's a tile blocker clearance finished up. That's fantastic. And what else do we want here? Basic fighter wings? I mean, that gives us access to strike craft for our star bases, sure, but I'm actually going to go for ecological adaptation at this point. We need that. And we're going to be getting detox relatively soon, too, to get a bunch of other planets. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So this specialization can be built. We need to queue up our ore spine. And we're going to be working on that orchard forest very shortly as well. So that looks good. Yeah, there we go. So that's looking absolutely fantastic. Up over here, we need to build this, which is currently happening. And this specialization needs to happen. So this is going to be the solar mycolungs. I'm not building for the for the strategic resources at this moment. We'll see if we want to change to it later. We'll go for the harder option here, as usual. Okay. So I want to continue to queue things up for our new worlds here. But we need to wait. So we can come here instead. We can specialize that. And then we can build one Hollow Mountain and one Orchard Forest here to get these specializations and to get all of those building slots coming in. So that's going to be absolutely great. Up over this direction, of course, we can build a specialization here, and then we can build a single Orchard Forest and a single photosynthesis field. This construction ship is idle, and the idea was that this was heading up to Dokkan. So we're going to head up over to Coder and get that in. This construction ship is also idle. It's heading off over this direction. So that looks absolutely fine for now. We need to get our hyper relay network online, though. We're pretty behind on all of that stuff. So the Menok Starbase has been expanded. We'll get our 2 anchorages in here, and we'll get our listening post in here. Our naval usage went up a lot. Interesting. We did queue up a few extra ships, but I didn't think we queued up that much. Okay, well, we're still doing pretty well on that front. It's not a concern.
Path must be chosen.
Okay, so at this point, these are the same difficulty, so we'll just choose to examine the fauna. And this pollinating world here, we can absolutely clear off some tile blockers. We're going to want to go through and clear tile blockers on every world that we can. But as of right now, that'll be fine. So these are construction queues finishing. Perfect. Okay, so we'll clear off some of these tile blockers, but I want to hop back down over here for now. And the specialization here is being built. We need to build a Bloom Loom and Solar Mycolungs. So that'll be fine. Same thing here, Ore Spine and Bloom Loom. Ore Spine and Bloom Loom. And then over this direction, we can put in Solar Mycolungs, we can put in a Bloom Loom. And we're working on the Ore Spine right now. So that all looks fine. We're definitely making progress on this. Now, we have a good amount of biomass at this moment. So I do want to hop up to this world up here, and we'll colonize that. Beautiful. So that's underway. And then we can head up to Heart of the Artichoke, and we can definitely build our lithic ores here is what we need. Yeah. So we can get these lithic boars in here. We can also upgrade these to nutritious undergrowths, which I'm interested in doing. So we'll do exactly that. And then on this pollinating world, we should build a single photosynthesis field. But we can only support 12 districts right now. We're going to need to clear off these tile blockers. That's absolutely fine. We're going to want to build one hollow mountain here. And then the rest of these are probably going to end up being communal biomes, but we do want to get these orchard forests upgraded. And we're going to need biomass over here, so that's understood.
Growth continues.
There we go.
The weeds have been pruned.
So we just need to work our way through all of these, and that's absolutely fine. We're going to build one hollow mountain here, and then the other is going to be a communal biome, almost certainly, and then this world will be pretty much full at that point. So that'll certainly be interesting. We're just kind of waiting at this point on tile blocker clearances for this world, and how's that going? Where's that in the queue? I'm not entirely sure where our queue went. There we go. I must have closed it. So we've got about 80 days there, and that's absolutely fine. We can come back to this later on, but for now, I definitely want to put in solar mycolungs. I want to put in an orchard forest here, and then upgrade these hollow mountains. What is this? Okay. So that's a problem. So we're being attacked by the Fallen Empire. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. I was hoping that they would ignore us, but it appears that they've pushed directly at us for some reason. We're not participating in this war, and we can't stop this. So this just, it is what it is. They're going to do what they're going to do up here.
The canopy is under attack.
Yeah, as expected.
Military station severed.
Yeah. We can't stop this. We just need the war to end, right? What are they going to do? Bombard? Actually, yeah, they're bombarding here. Okay, well, that's very rude of them. I wish they weren't. I very much wish they weren't. But we can't stop them. There's nothing we can do about it. We just need to be working on getting our other areas elsewhere under control, right? That's all there is to it at this point. We just need to ignore this and hope they go away. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see if they continue to bombard here. They likely will, but hopefully they just head on out after they're done with this. Hopefully their real targets are down over here, right? We just need this war to end, and we can't face this, so it's fine. It's fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.